Over the last few years, we've seen increasing interest in cover crops in the region, and here with our first Soil Health Minute of the year is Abbey Wick. And Abbey, first of all, I want to talk about cover crops. They have exploded in acreage this year because of the prevented plant situation. Talk about the benefits for using cover crops on those acres first.
I think getting something growing on prevent plant is the key. So if we don't have the cash crop growing, we need to get a cover crop growing. So not only will we get some weed competition and keeping some of those resistant weeds at bay, but we'll also build the soil structure, we'll prep that land for next year's crop and get some of the water usage that we need.
And the PP acres actually kind of serve as a launching board for getting cover crops on an operation sometimes, don't they?
They do. That's what we've seen in the past. There was, I think, one of the first years I was at NDSU, we saw a lot of PP acres and several farmers put in a full season cover crop. And what they did all year is that they watched that cover crop and they saw how it performed and they looked at the radish roots and they looked at the rye roots and they figured out what they liked best in that mix. And then the following year, they applied a lot of those cover crops to acres, whether they were interseeding corn or following wheat with a cover crop. And it was a really nice launching pad for using cover crops on a farm.
But even before this year, we have had a nice increase in acres, a nice trend in this region, haven't we?
We have. I've been really proud of our farmers here because they've taken these ideas that they're reading about in magazines and applied them to their farms. They're coming to our extension events. They're watching the Soil Health Minute. So there's been a lot of really good advances in use of cover crops.
And Abby, this is the third year of the partnership with the Soil Health Minute, and what can we expect that might be a little different this season?
Well, in the past, we've done early season. So I've been out there in the spring and during the summer, and mainly talking about interseeding cover crops and things like that. But now we're later in the season, so I hope we can capture some of the cover crops after wheat. Maybe we'll look at some of these full season cover crops on PP ground and see how it's changing the soil. And then we have all this amazing research and work that's being done on our research extension centers and across the state by our farmers. So hopefully we can capture some of those things that are being done as well.
Yeah, how much do you think the partnership has helped actually even increase acreage more and interest more in soil health?
I think it's helping a ton. I've actually gotten several letters from farmers across the state, how they watch this at the TV segment, they read the magazine articles. And I think whether you're in the valley where we focus a lot of our work, in this eastern part of the state, or you're out west, I think farmers are picking up tips from this and getting ideas for what they can do on their farms and ranches.
Abby, thanks for joining us. We look forward to all your Soil Health Minutes coming up. And again, you can catch those on Ag Week Magazine or at Ag Week TV.